Hi guys, and welcome back to my channel. Thank you so much for tuning in. I really appreciate it. Thank you so much for my day ones, my subscribers. I really do appreciate it. If you're not subscribed yet, welcome, and this is home. So please stay, do subscribe, press the notification button, share, like, and comment. Thank you so much for tuning in. So today is a very special day. It's a very emotional day. It's a very spiritual day, but also is a very special day in terms of my life and where I come from. So I was opening on one of my videos for the property journey. I took this envelope, and this is literally all my slips, my payment slips for the past years before they went digital, right? For as long as I've been working. And then I found this inside that envelope. And as I opened it, it's literally written in pen. So it's like, I think it was a goal I had from the 18th to the 24th of June, 2016. I was still a student. I think it was my last year of varsity. Well, at least for my undergrad. And these are literally the things I said I'm going to do to myself, for myself. This is 18 to 24 June 2016. This video, guys, is about reflection, but I just want to, this is like an opening for this video. So this letter says, send family member text once a week, compliment someone every day, say thank you at least 3 times a day, read an article online every day, listen to radio news 3 times a day, listen to motivational talks more, don't eat that crap with an exclamation mark, don't over socialize, do what needs to be done and go, don't sleep for more than 7 hours, speak life and do your best, do your ritual where you write in your little notebook, read your paper to understand, read your paper read your paper, so I'll tell you what that is about, and understand it, smile and skip every day. This is 2016. So I'm going to go again. I'm going to explain each one, right? Say family member text once a week. I do that specifically to my mom, my dad, and my brother. Compliment someone every day. I try to do that. I'm not keeping count, but say thank you at least 3 times a day. I do have a gratitude journal now. Read an article online every day. I haven't been good with that. I once subscribed to, I think it was it MoneyWeb? I'm not sure which, but it's an online financial book. I stopped reading that. And then listen to radio news 3 times a day. I don't. I listen to radio news probably 3 times a week. And that's because they affect me. Like emotionally, I get affected by all the negativity. Currently, the Gaza thing, I remember watching it, the video, and my day just went sour. My heart started beating. So I don't listen to the news as much as I used to. Listen to motivational talks more. This is on and off. Sometimes I do need motivation. Sometimes I am my own motivation. So this is on an ad hoc basis. And then don't eat that crap. You guys have seen my diet. I have improved drastically with the food that I eat. But I follow the Dr. James on Instagram. You should follow him. Suggestion that you can go a day or 2 without eating the right foods. Don't over socialize. Do what needs to be done and go. It does depend as well. I do have more friends now, or more acquaintances for that matter. And then don't sleep more than 7 hours. I sleep 8 hours almost every day. 7 hours minimum, 8 hours standard. Speak life and do your best. I've always tried to do this every single day. And then do your ritual when you write in your notebook. I'm so proud of how far I've come in terms of notebook writing, guys. Like literally, this is where I am. I have tens, lots of notebooks that I've been writing on. It's been my thing, like journaling. It's just been something that I've loved. And then read your paper to understand it and smile. So a paper is literally a letter that I wrote to myself. And I wrote like who I am, what I do, what I'm about. It's like a commitment letter to myself. So I read that almost every day. I keep it in my car, so I actually read it when I get to work. Just after I park, I read that letter to myself. And then skip every day. If you've been my follower on Instagram specifically, you know my skipping journey, that I was skipping and then I had to stop because where I stay, the person downstairs complained that I skip and it's loud and it's way too early in the morning. You guys know that I'm a 4 a.m. girl. So literally, this is a letter I wrote to myself 2016. And how many years later? 17, 18, 19, 21, 22, 20. 7 years later, I'm still living this. So yeah, that was a beautiful letter to see and to remind myself, guys, I've always been a letter girl. Like, I'm that old fashioned. But today, I wanted to talk about Reflection November, right? The 2023 specifically. I've always done this with myself, but like I explained in the video on Instagram and TikTok, is that I did it with a friend the other day over a phone call, and I thought I really would love to invite you as well, because it's a beautiful thing to do. I believe in reflection, and I believe that reflection is a big part or an important part of success. So the 5 things that we're focusing on for the 2023 November reflection is family, finance, fitness, faith, and friends. So the 5 F's: family, fitness, finances, faith, and friends. So today I'm just going to talk about the categories within each, right? And I'm going to try to be as fast as possible, but also not omitting important information. One thing about me and my videos that you should take into consideration, and always note that my videos will never be compromised because of time's sake. One of my favorite was this podcast, which is The School of Greatness and the Diary of a CEO. The episodes goes to 1 to 2 to 3 hours, and I used to be very skeptical about creating long form content, but I'm like, the people who really want the information and who really are my people or my clan, my tribe, they will watch it to the fullest, because I really don't want to sound like I'm selling and I'm going over things. So number 1 is family, right? And family consists of immediate family, relatives, and in-laws, or in-laws. Like, I'm not married yet, but I do have relationships with my boyfriend's family, you know? So that is part of family as well. So immediate family is literally, depends on whether you're married or not, but with me, because I'm not married, immediate family would be my mom, my dad, and my brother. So I want to explain my brother thing. You guys know that I lost my step brother. That's what people didn't understand. They thought it was my actual no. So my dad is remarried. So him and his wife, they don't have children together, but they both came with a son and a son and a daughter and a son and a daughter. So my step brother is the one who passed away, but him and I were very close. And people say I look like my stepmom, and that shows that my dad has a type, because my stepmom and my mom look similar. Like, they have the same complexion, the same body structure, literally, almost the same height, you know, and even their demeanor, like they're so similar. So my dad does have a type. So the brother that I lost is my step brother, and that's what I just wanted to clarify, because people are like, well, what do you mean your brother's birthday? What do you mean your brother's, you know? But he was my brother. Like, with my parents, I don't want to lie, guys. My stepmom and my mother are like sisters, and I always say, maybe I don't see that a lot, but I think it's because she was not the reason for their marriage to end. You know, she wasn't even in the picture. She wasn't even in the town. So she's not the reason. So I think that is why my stepmom and my mother are so cordial with each other, because she's not the reason for my mom to divorce my dad. Does it make sense? So she doesn't. They don't know each other. They know each other because of us, because of my dad. So me and my stepmom are very close. Like, she's my girl. Like, I can't call my stepmother for 2 minutes. When I call her, I literally have to set the time. Okay, Saturday get phone la mama for like a good 50, if not an hour. The only time we stop talking on the phone is when we drop the call, right? So that's the kind of relationship I have with my step siblings. And my dad did that without even trying, but that's because of the man that he is and the caliber of and the faith he has in God. So we never had like. That's why people thought my step brother is my biological brother. That I'm just trying to make you understand the emphasis on why people thought my step brother is my actual brother. And I also don't say step brother. Like, I don't call him that. That is why people were so confused. So that's my immediate family. Would be my stepmom as well, my dad, and my mom and my brother, but for the purposes of this video, my biological brother, right? And then you have relatives, which is your cousins, your uncles, your aunts, their children and their children's children. And then you also have your in-laws, like I said. But with relatives, I want to explain something that is very important, because for the longest of time I was confused, because I realized that, for example, my mom's brothers, they are married, right? So my mom's biological brothers are married. they are married to their wives. So their wives are the ones who came into our family, which is my mom's family, and they are my uncles are the ones who are my blood uncles. I'm not sure how to explain it, but yeah. And then in-laws, which is, so far I've met my boyfriend's parents, siblings, and some of his cousins. I have like 3 of his cousins on my WhatsApp, and I have one, like somebody who's married to the cousin as well. Does it make sense? So I have them, like I talk to them. When I'm with the mom, it's like my girl, we talk as well. So that is where I am. So that has become part of my reflection part. When I do a reflection on family, they have become part of a bullet point. So with immediate family, I realized that we have grown, you know, time has went, and this is where we are. Like, my brother is 200 kilometers away from me. My mom is 200 kilometers away from me. My dad is 1,000 kilometers away from me. My stepmom is 1,000 kilometers away from me. And the best communication that we can have right now is cellular, right? And obviously my parents are old, guys. I always say my parents had me in their 30s. So my mom is 61 and my dad is 65. So my parents are like, they're laggers. If you want to use a digital term, my parents are laggers. So it's not like I Skype with them or FaceTime. No, it's just a phone call, WhatsApp. Even on WhatsApp, like, they hardly update their status. They don't do much with their phones, you know. So that's the only way I keep communication with them. And I'm fine. I'm okay with how we keep communication. So my dad I'm closer with my dad than I am with my mom in terms of depth of relationship. My mom is my girl, like, that's my girl, right? That's my woman. My dad is my guy, like, my dad is, so for example, maybe if I were to, maybe if I was to have a debacle with someone right now, whether at work, at home, the first person I would call would be my dad because of his advice. My mom's gonna tell me that, fuck them, we move on. Sorry for using vulgar. You know, but my dad will go deeper, and that's just how the different personalities that they have. And then in terms of relatives, I've realized that your relatives are not your immediate family, right? And it's okay to not be close with all your cousins. Like, it's fine. There's nothing wrong with not being close with all your cousins. However, just make sure that the relationship you have with your relatives is not affected by another relative. So what I realized is that there's some cousins that I was not close with because I was close with these ones. And these ones don't get along. So because they don't get along, I was allowing myself to be compromised. So we would have like maybe a Christmas dinner and we would all be sitting in one table or whatever, but you would know, you understand? And I allowed myself, for years, I allowed that to get to me, and that's not fine. That's not okay, you know? So you need to be neutral when it comes to family relatives that don't get along. Like, maybe if it's your brother or now we're talking relatives, maybe your cousin from your mom's side and your cousin from your mom's side of the board, maybe they don't get along. That's none of your business. Where not if they have not done anything to you, they have not crossed a boundary, and you don't even know them that well to be angry at them in the first place. Really, you have nothing to do with that, you know? You just become cordial and you move on. In terms of your in-laws, for example, with me, I'm not married yet. So I always have a boundary. Even when there's a funeral, when I do go to the funeral, I don't stay as long as a married person would stay. Or I don't do chores as much as a married person would do chores. I remember last time we went to a lobola negotiation, type of thing. It's not a big thing. And the only thing I did was help with the dishes. And I didn't even initiate doing the dishes. It's just, I saw 2 ladies washing the dishes. And I'm like, okay, let me help. And I just helped with wiping them. And I went back to my seat to go chill. You know, the last time I went to the other event, everything was catered for. But it was like 8 o'clock until 5 o'clock event. I left at around like 2 o'clock. Just don't stay long because you are not yet married into the family. And that's just my belief, and that's just also how I was brought up, that there's certain things that you don't do until you're a married person, right? So that is in terms of family. According to me and the extent that I have, I really don't have that much family drama. And because I don't live with my parents, and I haven't lived with my parents since I was 19 years old. I'm 28 years old now, so I haven't lived with my parents. And I was in boarding school as well. And like I said, my mom was always at work. So I haven't lived with my parents for the longest of time. I've always lived alone for the longest of time. So I really don't, that is not a problem to me, because seeing them twice, 3 times, 4 times a year is normal, because that's how I've been living for the most part of my life. So when I reflect and I say I want to spend more time with my family, it's really not much I can do, because I can't travel 100 k's every day or 200 k's every day, you know. So I try on special occasions, I go, I drive. If it's a birthday, I will drive there. If it's something out, but so December I alternate. I'll go to my mom's this December, I'll go to my dad's this December. That's how I do my holidays. I always alternate. So yeah, that's it with family in terms of, but a lot of people want to talk about relatives. I really have grown, like, for me as a cousin, I don't choose, I don't take sides. If people have beef, I don't know about it. I used to involve myself, but I really don't. And I've also set boundaries in terms of, so if I have probably not beef, but if I'm not getting along with a certain cousin, it's simply because they've crossed a boundary that even a colleague would cross, or anybody on the street. So I have personal boundaries, and if you're not going to respect my boundaries, then we're not going to get along, whether you're family or not. I don't believe that family is family or whatever. For me, it's principles matter and values matter. So we're going to talk about finances now. So in terms of finances, the best way, guys, to reflect on your finances, number one, the easiest thing you could do is literally go to your phone, open your app, and look at your statements from January, depending on how far off you want to see. But because we're doing a yearly annual reflection, just literally look at what you've been purchasing, what you've been spending your money on. I promise you that on its own will tell you a story. It will tell you what's going on in your life, what are your priorities, what are your weaknesses, and what are your strengths. Just by looking, you don't even have to write anything down. You don't have to jot anything down. Literally just by looking at your statement. It's strenuous, it's tiring. I don't know about you, but I wear glasses, so too much light for a long time makes me tired. That's why I don't spend so much time on my phone, and that is something I need to work on, especially if I want to be the content creator that I'm trying to be. So if you just open your app and go through your statements, you can just do that. Number two, you can just have a column of write down, or whether you want to do it on your laptop, a column of how much you spent in the year, anything that went out and everything that came in. Your statement does show at the end, but it depends on how much. So you can tell that, are you spending more than what you're earning or what? Also, you can do savings. So in terms of savings accounts, how much money do you have in your savings accounts? How have you been saving? Have you been withdrawing? What was the reason for withdrawing? In terms of insurance products or whatever, do you need those insurance products? Are they worthy? Have you actually shopped around to see what is the best option for you? Are you okay with your current with your current insurance programs or whatever that it is that you have? And number two, you need to look at your needs and your wants. So after looking at your bank statements, you're going to find out if you're spending too much time on your needs or you're spending too much time on your wants. And guys, all these things literally differ for all of us. There's somebody who a car is a need, for somebody a car is a want. There's somebody who a phone is a need, an iPhone is a want. There's somebody where an iPhone is a need, an iPhone 15 Pro Max is a want. Am I making sense? So you need to look at those things, what are needs in your life and what are wants. I don't believe in somebody telling me what my needs and my wants are. I'm the one who's living my life, and I know what I need and what I want. Obviously, if I want to get to a certain level, for example, guys, I want to be a millionaire. And I listen to millionaires. Like, I don't listen to popular people who speak about money. If I'm going to listen to you talking about finance, I'm going to listen to you because you've got evidence that you are a millionaire. You have built the system to be a millionaire, and you know exactly what you're authoritative in your industry. I don't listen to popular people who talk about money. That's a different conversation. It's one thing to be popular and have an influence, and now you think you can talk about anything, whereas you are drowning in whatever thing that you are drowning in, and you haven't even mastered that thing. So I listen to millionaires people who have built the systems. Specifically and particularly, I try to listen to people who are in property through millionaires, right? The third thing in finances is beliefs. So you need to also reflect on what do you believe. So for example, I'm going to talk about scarcity belief and an abundance belief. I am both depending on what comes, but I'm more abundant. And abundant people believe in giving, believe in spending, it will be multiplied. I believe there's more where it came from. I don't believe that I'll ever lack money. I've never even lacked money. Like, I don't want to lie, guys. Money has never been a problem. And I'm not talking about like having liquid cash, but just to be able to afford the life that I have, just be able to afford, as simple as a diary book that is so cute, So I have that belief, like my belief about money is abundance mindset. There was a time with a scarcity mindset, but I think that time God was just testing my faith. But you need to look at your beliefs around money and to be able to say, what do you believe about money? How did you grow up? Was it always a stingy environment where when you ask your parents for money, it was always not there? Or was it no, thing? And were you taught how to tithe? Were you taught 10%? Were you taught taxes and all that? So you need to look at your belief. Is your belief working out for you? There's a book called, I haven't read it, but there's a book called The Psychology of Money. I'd like to think that book is talking about that because it says the psychology of money. So some books you just need to read a title to think you understand it. But if you have not read it, I think that is the book that will help you on a belief for money. And then there's also a book that I believe is a good book for the belief of your beliefs in money. And that is The Science of Getting Rich by Wallace D. Wattles. I have it. I'll just check it for you right now. And then, okay, let me actually do that. Okay. Ooh, is it even here? Okay, it's not here. It's not here. It's not here. I can't see it. Oh, here it is. So it's a very small book. Like, it's a very, 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 very small book. You can even get it online. The Science of Getting Rich by Wallace D. Wattles is a very old book. The Science of Getting Rich also, or Think and Grow Rich, all those books, you can get them working around your beliefs around money, because your belief will determine how much you want to make, how you spend, what do you believe about spending, how you save, what do you believe about saving, and all those investments and all those things that you want to do. Your beliefs will actually guide you in how you handle money, because there's somebody who's making 100K a month right now, and there's somebody who's making 100K a month right now, but they have totally different lives, and it's simply because of their beliefs and their perspectives, right? And then the last one for today is going to be fitness. We're going to talk about how to reflect on fitness. So with fitness, for example, for me, I joined the gym when I started working, and that is in 2017. And then I won't mention the name of the gym because that's not the intention of this video. I didn't enjoy it. Like, firstly, the instructors themselves were not how I want to look. And they just instructed me on the first day, and I felt like I was wasting my money because I was going there and I just did everything that you could do. Like, if there's a class, I'll join it. If there's a what, I'll join it. If there's a what, I'll join it, right? So I didn't enjoy it. And then I started exercising on my own. And then I recently joined the gym, and it is beautiful. So that is the one thing that the one bullet point under fitness. But there's also diet. And I also realized how that plays a role in your fitness journey, right? So what you eat. So my best friend, one of my best friends, can I please just drink water, excuse me? So one of my best friend, right, she loves food and she loves sugar. And she will say, friend, there's no such thing as bad food. God will never ever make bad food. You just have to be moderate, right? And that sounds good and all, but it's not a healthy way to live your life. So I think ever since I started working, because before then obviously I was dependent on where I stay, what they cook, but ever since I started working, I have really toned down on eating like the things I used to eat. For example, I've decided not to eat pap anymore. Like, I don't eat pap, guys. I only eat pap like when I want to. And that is probably 3 to 4 times, if not 5 times maximum a year. And even if when I do eat pap, it will be polenta. So a certain beliefs around food as well, your diet. Like I really decided that there are certain things I'm not going to eat. Like hakijima queen, I don't eat fat cooks, you know. With that also, I will probably eat them once or twice a year. And that is because maybe I will be craving them, maybe on my periods or whatever. But there are certain things that I've de-associated myself with to say, I do not eat this. Like, I'm not going to have that, you know. It's not something that I eat, and it's identity. If you look at the book Atomic Habits, it talks about if you want to stop doing certain things or you want to start doing certain things, how you identify with those things will actually help you with the habit, either help you for the better or help you for the worse. So there's certain foods that I don't eat, like what do you call this? What do you call cooking this meat? Oh my goodness, I forgot it now. Oh my god, I'll tell you now. But it's just this associating yourself with certain things. Well, I won't eat this. Like I used to love sweets with my whole heart, and I've literally said I don't have a sweet tooth. So I've made myself not eat sweets. I've disassociated myself with eating sweets, you know. And then in terms of, we still under fitness, and then in terms of planning your figure and how you want to look specifically. So I've started lifting weight because I want those Michelle Obama hands and those, I don't know whose legs, Kelly Rowland's legs. So literally, you need to decide on, in terms of fitness, what are you trying to create for your life, and how are you going to associate, or what have you been associating yourself with, and has it been working in terms of this reflection that you're trying to do. So in the next reflection, we'll just touch on faith and friends, and then we'll be done with the 5 F's, and we'll close down on reflection. But I really hope this helped you and gave you shed some light on how to use reflection and bullet points that are very important. You know, in terms of finances, I could go on and on and on, but family beliefs, family past, you know, what were people saying in your beliefs? I remember one of my friends who was doing so amazing. One day I'll introduce her to her. I didn't tell her that I'm going to talk about in this video, so I won't mention her names or whatever, but she's doing amazing, and she's earning so much money that she's the first person in her family, in terms of mom, dad, sister, uncles, great-grandparents. She's the first person to earn that much money. And at first she wasn't handling that well. You know, she wasn't used to people asking her for money how they do now. So you need to actually go as deep as that to be able to say, like for me, in terms of property purchasing, like I did in 5 years what I know nobody in my family has done in 20 years in terms of property buying. Guys, property is not cheap, and lawyers are not 5 rand, fees are not 5 rand. It's not cheap, you know. So yes, my family, everybody has a house, but they didn't do it in 5 years, you know. So it's literally what I'm trying to communicate with you. You need to go as deep as that. It's not just about looking at your bank statement and looking at how much you spend and how much you have not spent, but it's as deep as the belief that you have, what you had to go through to actually even announce maybe that you bought a car, what you had to go through to even announce that you bought a property, what you had to go through to even come and show your uncle that this mansion that nobody in your family has. Guys, my first property is a double story, you know. So you need to look at those things to say, are you even living the life that you want to live, or are you so scared about what people say? People talk about this thing, the evil eye. Guys, the evil eye is for people who have an evil eye. My God is so much. I don't understand why people live like they are serving the devil, why people are living like they are scared of the devil, when you should be living like you believe in God. There is nobody in this world under the sun who will stop my life because they have an evil eye. God is in control. My God is in control. My sovereign, big, almighty God. He couldn't be bothered about an evil eye. So I will share my accomplishments simply because it helps with my content and it's for my community. No evil eye will come and stop me from doing that. So you need to also look at those things. Why Do you believe that there's an evil eye that will stop you from prospering? So you really need to look at finances and family and fitness in a way deeper way. You understand? In terms of your family, what beliefs in your family are not helping you? Sorry, I just need to take this watch out. What in your family beliefs are not helping you? What about your beliefs of your parents? I love my parents with my whole heart, but there are some things that they believed in that I don't believe in. Some things, my family doesn't believe in a lot of things other than God, but there are some things, how they do things, or how they are so well behaved in terms of their success and their achievements, or how they are so cordial. Like, no, we are not going to nurse other people's feelings to stop living our lives. So you need to look at all that is important. When you meet your in-laws, do you go out of your way and spend so much money just to look the part? Or are you so confident in yourself that, no, I'll just be myself? All those things play a role in how your life turns out. Like in terms of gym, in terms of diet, what you used to eat at your home or with your family, you can change that. You are allowed to change that. So that is the reflection for November, guys. I really, really appreciate you tuning in. Please do subscribe, like, comment, and share. And I will see you on part 2 of November Reflection. Thank you so much and happy reflecting. Bye.